welcome from, well, my garden. Bit of a different start to my normal videos, but it's the perfect day to actually answer a question that you ask me quite often. How cold does it get in your workshop in the winter? Well, it's the perfect day because in the night time we had -15, and as you know, my workshop does not have any heating whatsoever. So what time is it? Well, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. The sun is shining lovely, as you can see, and the temperature, well, check this out. It's currently -10.7 outside. So it's still pretty chilly, I think we can establish that. And, well, having a workshop with no heating in these temperatures, it must be freezing inside. Well, let's check this out. And here we are, back in the workshop. I've got a hot coffee in my hand to keep me warm, but how hot or cold actually is it in here? So, as I said, I've got no heating in this workshop. So it's a single bay garage, 21 square meters of space on the floor. And I think it's about 3 meters tall, more or less, give or take. So let's check out the temperature in here. 14.5. So how come is it so warm in my workshop with no heating? Overnight, -15 all night. Now in the morning, there's -10 outside. And we only 10:15 in the morning. So how on earth am I keeping this workshop so, well, hot really, considering the temperatures outside? Couple of reasons, okay? This workshop is a garage that's attached to my house. So the insulation around the garage is exactly the same as on my house, which means it's very good. When I initially bought this house, the ceiling itself, there was no insulation at all. So more or less I had a wooden roof, felt on top, and that's it. So I decided to insulate it. And I have to say that made a huge difference in the winter and in the summer as well. When it's scorching hot outside, it's actually not too bad in here. So the insulation of the roof is really, really important. And the next step that I made was to actually insulate the garage doors. So on those doors, I've got this special insulating foil on it, the silver one you can buy. Even in Aldi and Lidl, sometimes you can buy that. And the foam itself, the foam is designed in a way to actually not insulate from cold or heat. It's actually designed to minimize the noise that's inside of my workshop going outside and the noise from the outside coming to my workshop. However, as a foam itself, it also provides a bit of insulation and it restricts the heat from coming outside and the cold to getting inside of my workshop. I do have a full video on how I've made that, so I'm going to leave a link to that down below in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. However, most of you will have a brick style type of a workshop with doors that go up in one big panel. And in the UK, when I had my workshop, I've actually insulated the garage doors as well in a bit different way that I've done here. And the results of that were also very, very good. And I would definitely recommend looking at that, at insulating the garage doors if your workshop is in a garage. Definitely worth upgrading your workshop with insulating the garage doors. It really does add up and it keeps the warmth inside of your workshop. And I'm going to leave a link for that video down below in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Now in the UK, in that workshop, I've actually had 2 sources of heat. First one is the infrared, and it does really give nice warmth, especially when you stand underneath it. If you're further away, it's not that great. And the second one was just a fan heater. Now, one thing I definitely won't recommend is that fan heater, as you know, it just blows hot air. but that means there's a really heavy airflow in your workshop and the dust is circulating constantly, and most of the cases you're going to be breathing that in. So it's not really the best way. I would definitely rather invest in a couple of these infrared heaters than the fan heater itself. Another thing you need to consider when having a workshop is to eliminate any drafts, okay, as that will be a killer to maintaining a nice warmth in the workshop. Obviously your workshop needs to breathe a little bit, but you know, heavy drafts are definitely not the way forward. Now I do have a vent in here, which is just over there, as you can see. However, at the moment I do have my laser fan attached to it, so more or less it is blocked in a way. However, through the other doors I've got full ventilation going across my garage as a whole. The garage itself is actually divided in 3 rooms. So this is my main one, 21 square meters. This is my workshop. However, I do have 2 more rooms to the side of this workshop. And the main reason I actually don't have any heaters in this workshop is because what I've got in the first room as you enter the garage itself. Let me show you. Obviously, please don't mind the mess. I know it's horrible, but we all got it. It's just messy everywhere. Don't look, close your eyes. And there we are. And that's the reason I've got no heating in the workshop. In this room, I do have 2 massive storage tanks with hot water, okay? This one is 250 litres and that is supplying heat to my underfloor heating in my house. Whereas this one is 300 litres and that's just hot water, hot tap water, okay? And they do give a bit of warmth to the whole building here, to the whole garage. Yes, they are insulated and obviously that they don't give as much heat, but it still gives enough for the whole workshop to be maintained at that nice temperature, about 14-15 degrees, even with temperatures outside reaching -10 and -15. So in a way, yeah, I don't have any direct heating. However, these 2 tanks do help a little bit in maintaining the heat. However, they would make no difference at all if the workshop itself wasn't insulated, if the garage doors were not insulated, okay? So you may have a source of heat in your workshop. However, if it's not insulated correctly, the heat will just disappear in a matter of minutes. So it is very important to actually insulate your garage and make sure you've got no drafts. One thing you can do is to insulate the garage doors. Easy to do, not too expensive, and you will really see the difference. Now in this workshop I've got one more thing to actually insulate and get it to a better state to preserve even more heat from escaping. Mainly that window there. I'm not going to remove the whole window itself as it may come in use at some point. However, for recording videos it's actually quite problematic, but it's another source of light that is causing issues for my camera. But also, as I said, it lets a lot of heat out, and in the summertime it lets a lot of heat in. So that's one of the projects I'm going to be tackling in the next month or so, to actually cover that up, insulate it a little bit and make some use out of it from that space of the windows. So stay tuned to my channel if you don't want to miss that. Make sure to subscribe as well. So if you haven't done so yet, check out my videos on how to insulate those garage doors, and hopefully this winter and the winters in the future won't be so harsh for you, so you can spend a little bit more time in your workshop creating some awesome things. Now I just wanted to answer this question as it does pop up quite often, and I hope I've covered that enough. If you've got any more questions, you know where the comments section is. Now don't go just yet. I do have some really cool playlists over here with plenty more cool videos that you may want to watch. So hopefully I'll see you on one of those videos there. Take care.